How's it going, guys? Andrew here.
And Connor.
Welcome to another LCR podcast.
Lights, Camera, Reaction.
Episode 82.
82.
I hope the Twin Peak fans out there enjoyed our last one.
It's been a little, it's been mixed, I feel. You know, like maybe people were wanting us to talk a little more about certain aspects, but I mean, hey, it's already...
We were just fucking gushing for over 2 hours.
Already long.
And then also Caleb was like, man, longest podcast about some restaurant.
I was like, there it is.
There's a dad joke.
Throw back there. If you know, you know, Caleb.
Dude, yeah, you're a hitman, right? So,
Hitman, Caleb.
But it's a little late to the party, but we are here to talk about our top 10 films of 2021.
Some stuff that I wanted to watch, like I couldn't watch until the beginning of this month anyway. So I'm like, I think this is like, I watched all the movies that I wanted to watch pretty much, like priorities for December and everything. So that's why.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, yeah, I cut off. Like, if I don't see it after the 31st, I didn't see it in 2021.
Yeah.
So I made my last movie right in there.
Exactly.
But,
so got it in right at the time.
So we're here. I think we'll structure it as we'll just do honorable mentions and kind of just say them. I don't think we'll go into detail.
Yeah, just like brief whatever about them.
And then we'll
because I mean they just missed the cut.
They just missed the cut.
They were almost.
If I didn't watch 3 more movies that I enjoyed, they would have made it. So,
exactly. So if you look at it that way,
you can go first.
Okay, first 3. So I guess. Do you want to do them in order or just like?
Yeah, I would start with 13.
Okay, so 13 for me. So like these are all. So I guess you could make this a top 13 if you wanted to, since we're doing them in order. But
we're not going into detail.
But I ain't gonna put a top 13. He's gonna click on that. So anyway, but 13 for me was Licorice Pizza. Yeah, I feel like it's middle of the road PTA from what I've seen, like most of my first watches. But it was cute. I think it's his most accessible film in like a long time. So. It didn't really wow me in any way, so that's kind of why it doesn't...
It's definitely like a simple crowd pleaser.
It is, yeah, exactly. Like, this is... If any normal person, I guess you could say, a normal movie watcher would watch it, they would throw this on over most of his other films, so... Go
check out our review. That's actually one of the movies on here.
Hell yeah.
I think one of the only ones that I have that we did a review for.
So. Hey, it was a weird year, so... But 12 for me was Red Rocket. Big Sean Baker fan, so I was pretty excited for this, but same thing that I felt with Licorice Pizza, just like middle of the road. Sean Baker, like, I think the third act, it like solidifies it as being a very solid film because it was like tinkering a little bit lower, but I think it finished pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, and it's still Sean Baker. Gotta love it. Oh my, we have a visitor.
Yeah, it's probably like DoorDash or something.
But and then 11 was Some Kind of Heaven. We watched this like pretty early in the year, I think.
Oh, okay.
The
documentary.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it that much?
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah. I had a really good time. I think that was like one of the most
that's
beautifully
26 for me. That's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad.
I'll take it, though.
Top 30.
I think I really enjoyed it because I think it's just beautifully shot, like one of the best looking documentary films.
If Wes Anderson made a documentary.
Yes. Like pastel colors, just old people doing their thing.
Hey, my grandma's actually down there right now.
Oh, yeah?
I think she went like a day or two ago just for like 2 weeks. Like somebody she knows like rent it out whenever they're not there.
Okay.
So she's just there for 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Doing pickleball.
Dude, shout out to Andrew's grandma. Let's go. But yeah, so it's about this like crazy Florida old people home and like pretty much its own town, isn't it? Its own county.
It has like its own zip code.
Yeah, like it's a big deal.
Also has a lot of STDs. So
oh my,
so my mom told me.
Oh God, did they mention that?
I don't think so. You can get that vibe though. A bunch of old people fucking.
Come on, especially in Florida. Like
my aunt also went down there. It was just kind of crazy. Like, I guess the villages are huge. And I'm like, hey, I watched a documentary about it, so I know what you're talking about. But my aunt said that, like, I don't know if it's, like, the further you go, like, the younger it gets.
Okay.
So, like, she said, like, the first night we stayed there, everybody was, like, you know, in walkers and, like, on the verge of dying. And then, like, the next night we went further into the village, and then it was, like, a little better, and then by the our last day we found like our people, our age and everything, like to make us not feel super old.
Yeah, we're not there yet. So.
No, because my aunt's not that old.
No, not old at all. But
they live in Michigan, so they're just tired of the winters.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, what better place to go to than fucking sunny Florida, baby?
The Villages.
So yeah, those are my 3 honorable mentions. What were yours?
My 3
just missed the cut.
Hot take number 13.
Oh, baby.
West Side Story.
Okay. That's cool. People like West Side Story.
I and Connor watched the original back in like March-ish, I think.
February, March, somewhere
around there. And I enjoyed it. I like musicals. And then I watched Sound of Music, which was just far superior. But
I haven't seen Sound of Music, so
it's
I don't have West Side Story at a 9, but if it didn't have a certain aspect of that film, the blatant brown face, then it would be perfect for me. But alas, I cannot give it that. So Sound of Music, hell yeah.
But yeah, going in, I enjoyed it, and I was like, solid 8. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Liked the songs. Direction was really good.
Steven Spielberg is back.
Oh no, I'm talking about the original.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
But then I also gave Spielberg's an 8.
Okay,
because I was vibing. Like after the first 10, 15 minutes, I was like, shit, Spielberg, you're actually doing it.
Okay.
So, there's just one drastic controversial moment that I have to rewatch the first one to know where the song is placed, because where the song is placed.
Did you tell me?
Yes.
You talk to me about
that?
Yeah. Okay.
Where they place a certain song in this remake, it just kills the tone.
That's right. Okay.
And they don't do that in the original. And I want to know why Spielberg did that, because it's just weird. Also, there's a huge controversy. Why this movie bombed is because Spielberg decided not to use subtitles. So
that's right.
That's why this movie bombed, because a lot of people were mad that they had no idea what's going on. They were just talking.
Okay. But I respect the artistic direction.
I respect. I was getting into an argument with somebody back at home about this.
Okay.
And I was...
You stand up, baby. Let's go.
I was saying...
You back up your movie.
I was just saying that, I'm it's pretty, if you have to just pay attention.
Yeah.
Because they're not,
You can infer what they're talking about, by their facial reactions.
Yeah, you don't have to know word by word, because if you knew word by word, and then the next scene, I'd be like, hey, what did Bernardo say in the last scene? You'd be like, I don't know, something
you could
about
paraphrase.
Yeah, but it's just instead, how you just try to interpret it, it's almost like you're just taking a class. You're just sitting there and you're just listening. You're like, okay, I know that word. Okay, now I'm trying to connect. I don't know, it didn't take me out of the movie, because also I guess I'm also more used to foreign films. Yeah. So I'm just used to
your average movie watcher is not going to watch anything.
Which is why I still will. I'll shout out to Shang-Chi. You did something there. So
shout out to Shang-Chi. That was the best MCU movie hot take of last year.
But yeah, so West Side Story, number 13. Number 12, Dune.
Okay, man, it's pretty high up on your list still.
Yeah,
it was not in my top 20. No,
I enjoyed it. I know one of your bigger things that you didn't like about it was that it was just way too serious.
Mm-hmm.
And
maybe it'll work on a second watch. I guess I just wasn't expecting that, I guess.
I just got into it. Yeah. I'm I can vibe with all this serious shit.
Hell
I can feel the tension. I can feel the chess pieces slowly moving, and everybody's fucking are you gonna stab me in the back? Are you gonna? No, you're not. No, oh, you are. Okay,
oh yeah.
Everybody's on tension. It's beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. A true blockbuster.
Yeah, it's just and it's just showing that Denny just knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he knows how to make something that large scale.
Yeah,
so
that's what he does best, is having a large scale to something proportion that we can understand.
Yeah,
and that's where his direction comes in great and beautifully. There's all these ships, but then you can see a row of military men, so you can get the perspective of how fucking huge this thing is.
Yeah,
it's oh, this thing's 6 stories tall. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked everybody. I thought everybody did fun, and also I think it will just benefit when the second one comes out.
Yeah,
everybody can say that this one kind of lacks because it just kind of ends and it doesn't go anywhere, And I'm like, well, that's kind of like Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just watch Fellowship of the Ring and be like, all right, that was fun, getting to know these characters and then not seeing their journey.
The ending of Fellowship of the Ring is pretty fucking incredible.
Yes, it is.
Whereas the final moments of Dune, it's just like...
But, like, I wonder...
hand-to-hand combat.
I wonder if they're... that's the one book of Fellowship of the Ring. Dune is one whole book being split into two movies.
So it's hard to...
It's hard to find an ending.
That, halfway
So that's where I think that when we just get the second movie and you just sit down and watch this, almost 5.5, 6 hour epic, you're going to be like, fuck, that's cinema.
Hell yeah.
So, number 12.
Dune 2, coming soon.
Hell yeah, it is. All that publicity for nothing. They knew what they were doing.
I'm glad I made money. Let's go.
And coming in at number 11 is the Street Gang documentary about Sesame Street. A very wholesome, sweet documentary. Cried about 5 times. Just every time Jim Henson comes on screen, I just cry. So, and like I was pretty much, it's your run-of-the-mill documentary. Talking heads, archival footage, just talking about the early years of Sesame Street. And if you're at all into Jim Henson or the Muppets or Sesame Street, like, this really isn't for you.
Yeah, like if you're well versed in
like for me, history. Like I pretty much knew like everything.
Yeah,
but I was enjoying it just because I love it so much, and I'm so passionate about it all. I could watch it again and still get enjoyment out of it. But at the same time, I was just kind of wanting a little more interesting stuff, I guess. But like, when it comes to history like that, you really can't.
Yeah, I mean, they are just making a documentary at the end of the day, so you kind of have to acknowledge the stuff that I guess.
And I know that, like, we kind of got a little hate and, like, talk shit about the Get Back. But, like, honestly, like, when I watched that, if that was trimmed down to, like, 3 hours, I think that would have been magnificent.
Oh, yeah, because, like, we'd never seen any of that.
No, and so I think, and in Street Gang, they had a few moments of just, like, you sat there and you just kind of watched, like, a day on set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I just watch this for an hour and a half, please? Like, I was like, this is way more interesting than you guys talking about it.
Yeah.
And so that's where, like, I guess, like, Peter Jackson, has broken ground in documentary filmmaking as well again.
And he's able, because he is Peter Jackson, he's able to get his hands on stuff like that as well.
So
compared to the filmmakers of, Street Gang, would they be able to get, as cherished, never before seen footage that a Peter Jackson would,
I mean, dude, there's like, don't quote me, but there's like 5,000 episodes of Sesame Street. So like, and I know a good chunk of those are lost, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like in like
just like aired once and just
like 70s, 80s, like a lot of those I'm pretty sure are gone.
Damn.
Just based off like podcasts and stuff I've read just from people talking about it. But yeah, so Street Gang, it's fun. It's on HBO Max now. I watched it the last day. It came out like December 13th, but that shit like premiered at some festival in like February. And then like I just kept tracking it because I was just like, I regret it because I definitely could have like watched it like just on my laptop like during the festival, but I think I was like working that day or something. So
damn.
But at least I got it. So
film festivals on the weekend gets you every time.
Yeah. All right. 10.
So are we doing?
We're doing it. We're jumping in.
We're going back and forth, or you want to do 10, 9, 9, 8, like, 10, 9, or 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, back and forth like that, like 2 in a row.
Sure.
Which way would you rather do?
Go with that. I'll do the 2.
Okay.
So you start with 10.
All right, bet. All right, so coming in at number 10, top of my list, Saint Maud. I actually really enjoyed.
I'm just going to say number 10, Saint Maud for me as
really?
Well.
All right, let's go.
So we can just...
Right, so just a little discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a minute since we've seen it, but...
I think it was one of... it was early, like February.
Yeah, February or March, like same time that we watched like West Side Story, I think.
Yeah.
Like, but Saint Maud, I mean, it was a lot... It went a lot further with how just disturbing and demented...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, just the fact that it goes balls to the wall with just how...
Don't show your Christian friends this movie.
No, this is very much a A24 horror film. This
is a A24 horror film. Like,
don't expect jump scares. There's build
except
up
for the very
tension.
last.
Yes, it all pays off. You just gotta get
it does. It's a slow burn of just this woman.
That last shot was that's one of my favorite last shots of the year right there.
It's pretty awesome, and the movie it's just fucked up. It's just this girl who's taking the religion way too seriously, and she's being a caregiver, right?
Yes.
And just the obsession that she develops with this caregiver, this person she's taking
Morfydd
care of.
Clark played Maud. So shout out to her. She was pretty excellent with it.
This movie slapped. Also the location, kind of like on like a eastern sea, or was it in England? I don't really remember. Was it like New York area? Like, it looked like the East Coast.
Yeah.
But also it could have been England. I don't know.
It was a while ago since we watched it.
Sorry, I did not. It's almost been a year because it's like the middle of January. So it's almost been a year
since we watched it. But yeah, I just remember because who did we watch it with? Matt?
Yes, we did watch it with Matt.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. I forget what his reaction was to it. I don't know if you liked it or not, but anyway.
Hard to read that man sometimes.
But hey, Saint Maud, pretty solid. So that comes in at number 10.
Number 10.
So that was number 10 for you. So now number 9.
Number 9 for me.
And then I'll do 9 and 8 after that.
And then I'll do 8 and 7.
Yes. So we keep. Yeah. See, we got back to back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming in at number 9, Red Rocket.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm glad I got to see this film because shout out to Akshay. Is that this premiered at Cannes, and our joke was, man, fuck Red Rocket. Let's watch something else. We probably got tickets for Red Rockets 3 out of the 4 days. And then we canceled everyone to do something else.
Now, any multiple ticketed days, shows that you got 2 different tickets for on the same day for Red Rocket. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
And it just once a day.
It was probably once. I think I think just because how things were tight up, it was just.
I mean, there's only so many showings anyway for films at cons. So.
But a movie like that is gonna get a lot more showings because a lot more people want to see that than some of the bullshit we saw.
France or
Deception.
Or
Hold Me Tight. Hold Me Tight's in my bottom 10. So yeah, that so Red Rocket, like you said, you're just vibing with it. You're just, and I love a movie that you're introduced to not necessarily an anti-hero, just a fucking fuck, dude.
Well, because you kind of fall in love with him at the beginning, and then you're just.
I don't know. I don't think I did.
I mean, slightly, just look at this goofy guy, and then you're just no one likes him for a reason.
Yeah.
And you slowly begin to.
I could just get that vibe. I kind of got the vibe from the trailer of who he is, and he just he's a talker.
Yeah.
So
he talks his way out of everything.
Yeah. If you don't vibe with talkers, you're not gonna vibe with him, and I don't vibe with talkers. I'm not that big of a talker, and if you're talking like that to me, it's almost like bragging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
He's just humble bragging the entire fucking movie.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Connor for real. I'm so humble.
I'm so humble.
So, but yeah, I loved his character. I thought he was just such an asshole, and just
great performance
to see what he does to Strawberry, and pretty much
to his ex-wife,
and pretty much he just sucks the fucking life out of everybody.
Yeah, he's a leech.
But then at the same, like you said, I was wondering where this movie was going. About halfway through, I was like, so what's gonna happen? And then it happens, and then I'm like, oh, and the whole world gets flipped upside down.
I was not expecting to go that route though. Holy shit!
And I vibed with it. So
hell yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9 is Tragedy in Macbeth from Joel Coen.
Okay.
Yes. Got to see this with my mom. Shout out to Mom. She wanted to watch this movie, so. But honestly, not knowing anything about Macbeth, it was pretty difficult trying to follow everything. But when you get the general gist of everything and just the pure excellence of performance and just minimalistic filmmaking at its best, I think that's where it really shines for me. Frances McDormand, like, sure, she's won 2 Oscars in the past, like, 4 or 5 years, whatever it
probably
was.
Safe bet. Yeah, 4.
Jeez. But, like, she would most deserve an Oscar for this over those 2 performances, in my opinion. Like, she completely falls into the character seamlessly.
And yeah, you don't like. I kind of forgot it was Frances.
Yeah, like, and when you could pull off that as an actor of her caliber, like,
it was pretty. Like, I like that when, and it, like, it's not like a Gary Oldman all this makeup. No. It's just she becomes
with the hairstyle, and she is just doing her thing. Yeah, and completely falls into that character. Denzel is great, and Akshay like points out how kind of goofy he is at the beginning, and I agree to an extent, but I think he completely picks up, like, as soon as the inciting incident happens, that is when he is just all over the place in terms of his acting in a good way. Like, he's giving you all sorts of different emotions, different tones, different volumes, like, as if he is on stage and he is, given these massive monologues, like, so much to chew on. But yeah, like, it's tough because there's several Coens I still need to watch, and then there's a lot I need to rewatch, including this one. But right now, I think it's like right outside the top 5 for Coen Brothers films for me.
Yeah, I added it to my list. I can't look at, but I think it just falls in the middle. I think I've seen 10.
Okay, I think I've seen like 13 or 14 or something like that. But hey, like, shows that Joel doesn't need his brother to, pull off a great film. So shout out to him. And then number 8 is The Power of the Dog for me.
Nice.
Jane Campion. Just Campion, I think, is how you pronounce it.
Hey, it's hot in the award season.
I know. She will likely win a few awards for this because I think it's one of the most, like, beautiful films of the year, both visually and with its storytelling and, like, thematics. Just the study of masculinity and, like, different characters, like, dealing with that and having a feminine character in this time period. And just seeing, Benedict Cumberbatch was okay at the start for me at the beginning of the film. But I think as you go along and as you keep building onto his character, I think that's where the film just keeps getting better. And Jesse Plemons plays like a sweetheart in this, and that warmed my heart. And Kirsten Dunst is in this.
Yeah, he's not playing like a weird fucko.
Yeah, he's not like a creep or just like a murderous psychopath. So, like, I'll take it.
He was just a humble man.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, beautiful score, shot gorgeously. Like, the locations of this film is fantastic. Everything in terms of set design, costume design is top notch. Like, it all came together for me. So I'm interested to see, like, The Piano and revisit, like, her other films like that. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, that comes on number 8 for me.
Number 8, my favorite documentary of the year.
Ooh.
Val.
Okay, Val. Very nice. I think it was, like, bottom of my top 20. Yeah.
It grabbed me. It's so interesting because he pretty much, it's on Prime if you want to watch it. He, from a very young age, just started documenting his life and his brothers and him and his brothers all wanted to be in the movie industry. And something happens. I'm not going to say it, but it's like fucking tragic. So you can just take that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, honestly, it's just kind of like, wow. Like, what would have happened, And from there, you just get him going to school, going in plays. You see like a young Kevin Bacon and like Sean Penn. I think you see Kevin Bacon's ass.
That was insane, seeing how baby they were at that school.
And then he's like, he films like every movie. Like, he just behind the scenes and leading up to like his divorce and then his revival, which was so fascinating because like I didn't really know who Val Kilmer was growing up.
Okay.
I think that growing up, I watched his Batman movie, but like didn't really know who he was.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen Top Gun. I hadn't seen like Willow. I hadn't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Tombstone. I haven't seen any of those. Like the only one I really saw was that Batman, and he's in the Batsuit most of the time. So I didn't really know who he was, and so then I watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and as I got more into the film, like just world, finding out that everybody hated this guy because he was such an asshole, and so getting to see him at his most vulnerable stages, to see that he was just really a passionate actor, and most passionate actors are assholes.
Yeah.
And then the tragedy that happens with his cancer, and the fact that the reason why he disappeared is because, he lost his voice.
Yeah.
And he's alive, which is cool. But
it's throat cancer, right?
Yeah, I think it's throat cancer. And so the whole documentary is just... And also what's really sweet is that his son narrates it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it sounds like it's a young Val talking about his life. And I could just tell that this was very cathartic and just very, I guess, soothing in a way for him to like cope with like the end of something and the beginning of something else. And to see he's in a lot to art now. Yeah. And like an art studio, and he's doing good.
And he's vibing.
It was just a very sweet documentary. I kind of like never wanted it to end. Yeah. I just kind of like wanted to keep watching him. And so...
Because there is so much archival footage.
Dude, so much. Like
you could make this, hours upon hours, and...
I would have just watched like him just filming shit on Tombstone.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where he's like... Where Kurt Russell is just standing outside of his trailer, and he's like talking to him. And I'm like, dude, I'll just watch this for like 30 minutes because this is so interesting. So that's just cool. So it's just like a time capsule that you pulled out the last 30 years of your life, and you're now a documentary about it. So pretty cool. And then coming in at number 7 is A Hero.
Okay.
Yes. This was our first film at Con for Akshay and I.
Hell yeah.
And you haven't gotten to see this, right?
No, didn't it just start playing at like Midtown Art Cinema or something like
that? And also I think it's on Prime.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's a Prime movie.
Well, let's go.
So
I'll probably check that out soon then. Still need to see freaking his other films. Fahardi.
Yeah. And this movie, I won't give much away just because like you haven't seen it. And for other people who haven't seen it, because it just came out pretty much this week or last week. It's just this man. It's like the little white lie. It's just this man trying to be a hero, but really wasn't.
Okay.
And this lie,
he's taking credit for it, kind of thing.
Yes, and this lie just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just like the episode of VeggieTales with Larry Boy. So
there you go. Good callback.
It's just a slow burn. You're just seeing it, and you can see the fucking explosion in the distance. You're like, we're gonna get there eventually, and like you're just like waiting for that to happen. So it's good. It's a good slow burn. It is foreign, so for people that don't know that, but
is it Iranian?
I think it's Iranian.
Okay.
So
hell yeah.
Yeah. So that was my number 7. I really enjoyed that.
Hell yeah. All right, number 7 for me, which I think will be a little bit higher for you, is Annette, who you also saw at Con.
Annette rules. Yes, I will be talking about that later.
Leo Carax is how you say it? Cara?
Leo, yeah.
Cara?
Yeah. Cara. I'd say Cara. I'd say the X is silent.
Who
knows? I'm uncultured.
French. But anyway, Annette absolutely ruled. We saw this at Midtown Arts Cinema. It was your second watch.
I'm loving that.
And
I need that shit physically.
But besides the two little assholes a couple rows ahead of us, like just probably not understanding what they were getting themselves into.
No.
This was just fantastic from beginning to end. Just in terms of how, like, this is when you picture art house musical, this is pretty much what it is. Like, just so much weird and odd decisions from, like, the presentation of the child and the sets is pretty much like you're watching pretty much a musical on stage with, like, the sets that they make and everything.
A big thing will be, it's more, like, I think you said it, it's more the Sparks Brothers film.
Yeah.
than it is Leo.
Yes.
Film.
And I'm glad we did watch Sparks Brothers before we
yes.
Either of us watched Annette. So
and I'm glad we both vibed with that documentary and just like their music. Like definitely, it's definitely like not my thing.
Yeah.
But like I don't hate it.
Right.
And so, but I think honestly, I think if I went into Annette without knowing who the Sparks Brothers was, I don't know if I would have enjoyed this.
Yeah. So there you go. So like it gets you prepared.
So I would say like if you want to watch Annette,
music.
If you're like an Adam Driver fan, which we are, and you're like, oh, Annette, I want to watch this. Listen to a few Sparks Brothers songs.
Yeah, you can get a gist of what they're going for.
It's pretty much, it's very repetitive.
It's pop music, so
it's pop music.
It's its own form of pop music.
But it's like the what was like the tagline? It's like the biggest band that never got famous or something.
Yeah, I mean, but
like
that's like Edgar's words.
But like in a sense, like from the documentary, like
I mean, in terms of
because they were huge in the UK, but like they never made it to America.
Yeah.
But they were American, which is funny.
Yeah.
But
I think then they make it big in like Germany and like France and stuff like that. Yeah,
they were huge.
A lot of Europe. Yeah. So
anything else about Annette?
But I mean, Adam Driver. I mean, you gotta love Adam Driver.
Shows ass, eats pussy.
Oh yeah. Hey. He's singing while doing that as well, so look out for that. It happens earlier in the film, so I'm glad like it comes out with a bang pretty much.
I want to watch Annette now.
Marion Cotillard is wonderful as well. It's just so vibrant. And then Howard from
Big Bang Theory. Dude, there is a shot with him.
Yep.
So impressive.
You'll know the shot because it's all
impressive.
Him. It's all him, and it's continuous and fantastic, and it shows you so much.
It's so good. I want to watch Annette now.
That rules. So like on a rewatch, honestly, could go up for me. So
you can just by hearing my hype, you can predict what Annette
That's
is.
why I preface this will definitely be higher on your list. And then number 6 for me is a film we were both very excited about, and one of the few films that actually came through for me this year in terms of hype, The Green Knight. Another A24 film, of course. I mean, look who you're talking to, or listening to, I should say. And honestly, The Green Knight is like the perfect. I think it's A24's like best big scope thing that they could go with, because
for like last year or just like in general.
In general, because like I mean, most of their films are not as large a scope.
Yeah, this is pretty.
Like this is very expensive and very like
as big as like some of their movies have been.
Yeah,
all of the movies are pretty grounded, and even like The Lighthouse is. Yes, it's like it's a lot going into it, but like a lot of practical stuff.
Exactly.
It's not,
and I mean, it's just 2 actors just like in this area.
Yeah, this is like a full cast.
You're going anyway. Green Knight, Dave Patel as Gawain, I believe is his name.
Cumscarf.
Yeah, Dev Patel. I like the best thing he's been in a while. This is a film by David Lowery, who is like quickly becoming like one of my favorite like modern filmmakers.
Yeah, let's see if that Peter and Pan movie.
Peter Pan, and then Pete's Dragon I still got to get around to as well. So I guess he's having his little side gig with Disney, but
make money.
But this cast is loaded with like Alicia Vikander, Joel Edgerton, and Barry Cohen is also awesome. And his like, I wish there was a bigger role for him in this film for what he brought, but it is what it is. But pretty much just like a perfect tale of honor and just like pride, and just like how the hero's journey pretty much hinders on that. And I think like just his character is able to learn so much, but at the same time, just it gets to that final 20 minutes that's just like the cherry on the top. And it's like, all right,
it saved it.
It's perfect. This is like what you presented. Just like Red Rocket, that's where it like came full circle. I'm like, all right, you completed this arc, and it's so satisfying.
Yeah, the last 20-ish minutes.
You will be taking your breath away.
But you should know, just like A24 of horror, this is an A24 epic fantasy.
Slow burn to the max, and it is glorious.
He ain't fighting a dragon.
No.
He ain't doing all that cool shit in Lord of the Rings, okay? This man's on a quest.
Yep.
He is a coward. He has an ego.
He learns many lessons along the way with different characters and different locations, different tasks.
Cinema.
This is medieval fantasy at its best, and it rules. So shout out to The Green Knight. Let's hear it.
Number 6 for me, Paris 13th District.
All right.
I saw this one at Cannes with Akshay as well. And
Jacques Audiard.
Yep.
I believe, yeah.
And it is a modern love tale.
Okay. With a twist.
With a twist.
Okay.
It is a love triangle.
Okay.
So, it's pretty much this one man who's bouncing between these two girls. And these two girls are also bouncing between their lovers, and they're all just drifting along. And I don't remember how long it takes place over months or years or whatever, but it was just beautiful. It was just peaceful and
okay. That's interesting. I didn't know like that was the tone it was going for.
Yeah, it's very just calm.
Okay.
And it's just talking and just, relationship issues and heartbreaks and people in ruts and people thriving while others are not and stuff like that, and just like who you want to be with and your identity and like just like it's like, man, I'm a dude, maybe I actually like dudes, like stuff like that.
There you go. Self-identity.
It was just beautiful, and I really enjoyed it.
All right. So that's awesome.
I don't know when it will come out, but
I don't think I've heard anything about a U.S. release date yet.
But whenever you do, Paris 13th District. It's also black and white, so it looks sexy.
Hell yeah,
so,
it looks crisp.
And at number 5, another Cannes film.
Oh man, coming in hot.
Sorry, man. Nitram.
Okay.
So, Nitram was our last movie we saw.
Okay.
It was a very late showing. I think it was like a 10 o'clock showing. And going into it, didn't expect anything and was completely blown away. It's based on a true story about the mass shooting that happened in Australia in the 90s. And the apprehend person that did this shooting. And pretty much you just see how he got to that point. And it's pretty.
The Caleb Landry Jones film.
Okay. Yes. And he was terrific in it.
Yeah, he won Best Actor.
He won Best Actor, which is shocked why it's still not out yet.
Yeah,
like it makes sense that like Titane was released because it was like the winner of the of Cannes, but this also was pretty big for him. Like we watched the next day we watched like all the highlights of like the award ceremony, because when we were watching Nitram, the awards were happening.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool that we were watching Nitram and then he won it.
Hell yeah.
For that.
Concurrently.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's really good. Also, it's like, I don't, who's the director? Justin Cruzel or something. This man made Assassin's Creed, and I thought he was a complete hack.
Assassin's Creed.
So, but no, here he shows that he was competent, and so I'm intrigued to see what he does next. But yeah, really enjoyed
real
it.
Movies.
It was good. It was sad. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
There you go. So number 5 for me was the new film from Todd Haynes, The Velvet Underground.
That's one that I missed.
But so I definitely wanted to catch that before the year was over. So I was able to watch that, and honestly, like the way it's presented and the way he tells the rise and just the peak of the Velvet Underground, the band, was very interesting, because you get thrown right into it and you're introduced to all the bandmates, and pretty much like it's a tone setter for just like how each band member was during the time of their upbringing and their peak. And honestly, like in terms of blending footage of the band and their music with like just normal footage of everyday life, which like was one of the more annoying aspects of the Sparks Brothers documentary. And I feel like he uses that way to approach filling in multiple just segments of footage with the audio pretty excellently. And it just, everything about this is just like, all right, you understand why Todd Haynes is like as great of a director as he is, because he made a movie like as boring as like Deep Waters would be, like made by anyone else. Like he makes that as interesting visually and thematically as possible. And he did that with the Velvet Underground. Like, you get a perfect glimpse of, like, where culture was during the 70s, late 60s going into the 70s, and just, like, a perfect capture of just, like, American lifestyle during that time and, like, how the Velvet Underground came to be about with their sound and how they approached rock music at that time. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty excellent. So that's why it came into number 5 for me. And then we got Come On, Come On, Mike Mills, number 4. This was my second film of his. And after watching 20th Century Women, I think like a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that, like anything that he made from there on out, I was very interested in watching. I still need to watch that short film he made. What was it called? I Am Easy to Find with Alicia Vikander in that. So I still need to watch that, and then like a couple of his I think his first couple films. But from 20th Century Women to this, I think I could get a firm grasp of how he approaches a modern drama. There's plenty of, it could get sappy at moments, but at the same time that sappiness is justified, and there's plenty of heart around Joaquin's character and dealing with his nephew, like his sister's son, as he brings him around while he's making a documentary about inner city youth and different cities and poverty and stuff like that, and just how the struggle of raising a child in today's world, that's kind of what hit home for me, is just being pretty much half documentary, because I think all those kids were
that was all
kids.
Documentary.
So blending that with a touching narrative that could pretty much go with where Mike Mills, the director, is trying to go with the narrative of this film, and what he was filming with the children and all the documentation, I think is just struck so many emotional chords for me, just like 20th Century Women. But I do prefer that film a little bit better. I've only seen both of them once, but honestly, the more I get a sense of who he is as a filmmaker, the more I want to watch of his. So yeah, that comes in at number 4 for me.
Hell yeah. Number 4 for me was The Father.
Okay.
This was another early film for us that we saw this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it is pretty sad.
Yes.
But also visually interesting in a story aspect, with Anthony Hopkins pretty much, was it dementia or Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's. So you don't know who is actually who in the movie, which is pretty. I think it's based on a play, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But made by Florian Zeller,
yes.
too.
But yeah, so yeah, made by the same writer. And yeah, so pretty much you don't know who actually his daughter is. Mm-hmm. You don't know who is real and who isn't, what is real, what isn't, and you're just watching this man slowly get lost in his own house. And it's really good. The acting is tremendous.
Yep.
Anthony Hopkins, I thought he gave up, I thought he's like, I'm just going to be in these big Hollywood blockbusters for one scene.
Thor and Clash of the Titans.
And Transformers.
Oh my God, he was in that. I forgot he was freaking in that.
And so it's just good to see him back and really showing his chops, and a good film. And Olivia Colman was also really good in it. That's also when we realized how young she actually was. Sorry,
Olivia. You look a lot older than your actual age. But hey, you're a great actress.
You just said man, aren't we gonna lose her soon? You said something
there's no way.
But you said something like that I don't know, just something like that. And then I looked her up. I'm like, dude, no, she's going to be here for another 50 years.
Not that many. Probably not.
But still,
capping at that, I guess. Yeah.
You just said something in the matter that made her seem older than what she was.
I didn't think she was 70, but I thought she was mid 50s at least, or late 50s.
Still.
Anyway.
It was still funny. But anyways.
Olivia Colman, you rule. I'm sorry. I love you.
It's a really good movie. It's pretty short too.
Mm-hmm.
It's been out for a while now, so it's probably on some streaming service.
Shit, I mean, it won awards last year, so it's been a minute.
Hot take.
But hey, it was released in 2021. I'm sorry the awards season was weird last year.
It was weird, yes. And yes, it was released in everywhere else in 2020, but in America, 2021 February. But yeah, so that comes out at number 4.
And then number 3 for you.
Number 3 is Come On, Come On. It was just a beautiful movie about raising a child and the hope that children give and what they want to bring their generation to the world, and just to show you that we are all meant to raise the following generation up and help them succeed with their hopes and dreams of what they want their future to be. So then their kids' futures could also be better. And clearly we're not doing that. And this is just a movie. But in a perfect world,
makes you think.
In a perfect world, that is what we would be doing.
Yes.
Instead, we are not. But we're living in a simulation. Okay, so
we just gotta unplug. Everybody just
come on,
rip it out. Come on, we all watched Matrix.
But yeah, like everything you said, like Joaquin was beautiful and his performance, and I love the documentary with all the kids. Like it was the right approach for that.
Beautiful black and white filmmaking.
Yes, also another beautiful black and white film, and it was just beautiful, and it gives you a lot of hope. It's a movie that's depressing, but at the same time, by the end of it, you're like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like I want to not have a kid, but I want to help the next generation.
Yeah, raising a kid is very difficult, and
also it shows the early, I guess, stages of like a bipolar disorder.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, its take on bipolar disorder was pretty true. Like, it was a little heightened, I guess, compared to like most cases, but at the same time, like, I'm glad a film like this addresses something like that.
Yeah,
because not a lot of films do. So thank you for doing that, I guess. So hell yeah.
Well, number 3,
my number 1 or highest rated documentary, Summer of Soul.
I was like, wait, your number 1 movie. I was like, what?
No. The highest rated documentary.
I was like, wait, did I blank out?
We skipped. We fast forwarded. Well, anyway, so yeah, Summer of Soul, made by Questlove, his debut film as a filmmaker. And just like The Get Back, Questlove was able to get all this footage and sound that is like pretty flawless in terms of like how long it's sat,
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it sits there for a while, you can't damage it or don't put it in danger. So, but anyway, it's about this festival in Harlem that took place the same year as Woodstock.
But you never heard of it.
You never heard of it. I wonder why. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, like
it really awesome. Was.
It fucking rules.
Yeah,
so,
it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
And that's what makes it heartbreaking that like we never really heard about this unless you were there or passed down from families, which a lot of white families probably didn't.
But I was going to say it's not white families.
No.
So the odds of, if you are white, the odds of you hearing of this is you're either really cultured or your parents rule.
Yeah, you're all from New York somehow, so you all were able to.
This was number 20 for me, so it made my top 20.
Let's go. But yeah, I just thought that all the performances and all the footage of the concerts, and you really get a sense of that you're actually there, at the concert itself. And it helps with the theatrical setting, so, maybe if we watched this like on Hulu at home, it wouldn't have hit us hard. But at the same time, just how he was able to paint a perfect picture of how much this meant to Harlem and how much it meant to Black history, of not just Black history, but the history of music in general. How many fantastic Black artists were there, at the festival, and that would go on to like be their own legends in their own right. Mm-hmm. And while it can be a little long, I will say it is a tad long. I feel like just like a concert setting, like, because it's mostly the songs. Just pretty much vibing for
you're just vibing with
a little over 2 hours.
You're pretty much also the people that they're interviewing. It's like they're experiencing the footage for the first time.
And then they're explaining.
So it's like some people, like the musicians, they haven't seen this in decades. So they're like, holy shit.
They're like, damn, dude, look at what we're wearing.
Oh my God. Wow, that person. And they would have a cool story or something. And then younger generations would watch this and have a connection to it as well. But
so having that footage that, was pretty much put on the back burner for so long, all these people are having genuine reactions to these to this footage because no one's fucking seen it.
Yeah, you can't watch it on YouTube.
It was filmed, so God bless you, Questlove, for getting all that footage and making like a killer first film. And hopefully he keeps making movies. Like it'll probably be documentaries if anything, but if he gets in the narrative, that's cool. I'm down to watch a freaking Questlove movie. So that comes at number 3, and then number 2 is The Father, which you had at number 4, right?
Number 4.
The Father, Florian Zeller, and I guess he's making The Son I think it's this year. So it's kind of like, I don't think it's like a sequel, but it's pretty much another depressing tale, just the son instead of the father, I guess. But anyway, so Florian Zeller, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman, like you said, like just capturing what it would be like for a person with Alzheimer's in the form of film is pretty much its greatest takeaway. And
it's like nonstop.
It is.
It's like a tight, like 90-minute movie.
And while it could be kind of shitty to say it like this, but like since it is filmed this way, it keeps the mystery like there in terms of a film, you know, like who they seem and who is like fake. Like there are several characters that are pretty much just like a figment of his imagination or just different versions of what the realistic versions of
it might be somebody that he's seen before.
Yeah, like
but they are playing somebody that he should know who they are, but they're not.
It's like creating an entirely new world in his own mind, and like he can't help it. It's just the awfulness of the disease and not being able to put things together, you know, with loved ones and everything. So you're learning more about the history of this father and daughter as the film goes along, while also trying to figure out, you know, what is reality and like what is real, who are these authentic relationships in his life. And that's just the most heartbreaking thing about the film. So it's a hard watch, but I think it's honestly one of the more rewarding ones, just strictly from like the authenticity of how it was presented, and then performance wise pretty terrific as well.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's number 2.
Number 2 for me, The Green Knight.
Okay. There we go.
The Green Knight.
Man, number 2. Let's go.
The Green Knight slaps fucking hard. It was one of my most hyped movies of 2020 that got delayed.
Yep.
And seeing it, it was like pretty much everything I wanted from it. Because like by now, I definitely know what A24 does.
Yes.
So like I knew what I was.
In terms of like,
I know that the marketing is pretty much aligned to me. So
it's a lessened version of the marketing, just better filmmaking.
Yes, but better filmmaking. And so, just going into this, it's just an amazing tale of another person that you pretty much hate the whole time.
Yeah. Not as bad as Simon Rex.
Not as bad as Red Rocket, but still like this man is just he's wanting an identity. He's wanting
he's not
to
redeemable either, really.
He wants to be known for something. Yeah. And what he wants to be known for is so selfish. And you get the gist in the trailer is that he's dining with all his fellow knights and the king, and this fucking tree dude comes in and he's like, "Hey, yo, cut my head off, and then in a year come back."
Yep.
And he's like, "Who's gonna do it?" And then Dev Patel's like, "Me, bro." And
dude, I got this, guys. Let's go.
He does it. A year passes, and he goes on this journey. And like you said, he just goes on this magical journey, interacting with mysterious people along the way, and
thinking that he would learn lessons along the way, but really he doesn't. So,
and along with the prostitute that he's in love with, also there's a great test there with that. Also, cum scarf, but it's
so good. Gotta drop it twice.
Oh hell yeah, dude! And then like you said, just like I think it would have been an 8. But then that ending just bumped it up to a 9 for me because
boosted to number 2 for you.
Because it was just, dude, I think it's been number 2
like the entire time. Oh yeah, because we all know what number 1 is. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that ending is just like, I don't think I knew right away what was happening, but eventually I was like, oh my god,
Yep.
And then they did it, and I was like, oh my god. And then it happened, and then the movie ended. And I was like, oh my god. So
and then we stood up and cheered while everyone was
and everybody else was like,
fuck?
What, dude?
What did we just pay for?
That just fucking sucked, dude. What are you clapping about?
It's like, man, this isn't Marvel. This isn't Lord of the Rings.
What the fuck? But yeah, The Green Knight rules. Also,
where is it? Pull it out, baby.
It's a sexy ass. Shout out to Matt. Sexy ass cover, dude.
Dude, that's just a sexy ass slip cover.
Yeah,
dude.
it's a sexy ass slip cover.
Red pops, just like the freaking poster.
Just like indented. Yeah, that shit rules. Gonna attempt
Number 2, baby.
Slide back in there. Number 1.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
We
love each other so much.
Number 1.
We love each other.
Well, let us serenade.
So much.
This is what you could be getting with Andrew's number 1 movie of the year.
Counterintuitive, maybe, but we love each other so much. Oh, dude, fucking Annette rules, dude. Annette fucking slaps. I saw this at Con with Akshay. I think it was day 3. I think it was our second film.
Okay.
I think we saw Benedette, and then we saw this. And up to that point, after seeing Benedette, I was like, man, where's my Parasite?
Yeah.
Where's the movie that I'm like, this festival was worth it? And then like 15 minutes into Annette, I'm like, holy shit, this is it. We didn't even talk about it, but the opening, can we start?
Yeah.
Like that, dude, how you fucking like get this going.
Yeah.
It's just like attention, ladies and gentlemen, like what you're about to fucking witness is a wild ride.
The director at the first shot?
That's his voice in the beginning when he's tapping the mic and everything. And
oh yeah.
He's like, if you have to breathe, hold your breath, don't blink. He's like, you're about to be on this wild ride, and I'm like, dude, okay,
let's get it going.
And then the fucking Spark Brothers show up, and they're singing a song, and then like Adam Driver shows up, and like he puts his wig on. I'm like, what is this?
We're jumping right into it.
And then the movie starts after like 7 minutes of just reality. I don't know, it was awesome. And then just the movie kicks off, and just the imagery and what I like to say is that every scene doesn't feel like the scene previously.
Yes.
Every scene is approached into a different way of directing it. And I think that's just so cool. Like, it just rules. The movie's awesome. Adam Driver can't sing, but he does his best.
He does.
But he's also just magnificent.
One of the few unlikable characters he's played this year.
Yes. One of the few.
Yes.
Yeah, he definitely, honestly, all 3 roles, very unlikable in all 3. So I would say this would probably be middle, though. Last Duel, he's a rapist.
He's despicable. He literally raped somebody. So.
But no, yeah, Annette is just beautiful. But I will say, just like we said, it is the most art house musical ever. I was talking to somebody who is a hardcore musical buff,
regular musical fan.
Like, no, not even like they love musicals.
Just any musical.
Yes.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, you should try Annette," but I was like, "But it's not like your musicals." Please. And that person turned it off.
Oh no!
Yes, they couldn't. They couldn't do it. And I was like,
"Oh, that's tragic."
I was like, "Then you're not a musical fan, because this is a musical, and it's perfect. It's not perfect, but it's really fucking good.
It's damn close. Like I said, on rewatch, it could be up.
On my rewatch, and like I want to watch it again. Like I just, some of the songs like I listen to, like it just plays on my playlist because they're really good. Like We Love Each Other So Much. Like that song just slaps. And they're just like fucking the whole time. It's great.
Heartbreaking ending. Heartbreaking middle. Everything's
Oh, dude,
sad.
the ending, like, dude, like looking out into the abyss, like that last song is so good. It's a good movie. Fucking Adam Driver's like solo when he's in the club and he's like, girls.
That shit's some good comedy in this movie.
Dude, it is. Like he's a comedian, dude. What's his? It's the God of Ape or something.
Yeah.
The Ape of God. The Ape of God. And it's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
So it's pretty much just like a cynical look at celebrities.
Modern celebrities
like, dating.
Yeah.
And then exploiting their child for some special gift that they have.
Yeah, it gets pretty ridiculous with the child toward the end, and it's awesome.
Yes, it does.
But so my number one pretty much stayed number one the entire year, and Judas and the Black Messiah.
There it is.
Directed by Shaka King. Yeah, pretty much whenever we watched this in preparation, like whenever it first came out, like I don't think we really weren't going to the movie theater at that point.
Well, no, I think that was one of the first HBO Max movies.
Yeah, so we tested that out, and looks fucking fantastic on television. So that I was like, I wish I had seen this in theaters, but at the same time, I'm like, I didn't need to. So, but anyway, I digress. Best film of the year for me, for many reasons. I think just the time it came out, and also what it was telling of this, like just the rise and fall of Fred Hampton. I mean, it's in the title, Judas and the Black Messiah. So,
that's a good ass title.
Yeah, it is a great fucking title. And honestly, like Lakeith Stanfield, as much as like some people might say he doesn't bring a whole lot to each of his characters or anything like that, like kind of doing the same thing, I would say so. But at the same time, I feel like this is where he gets the break out of just like that mental. Just he snaps mentally at some point in this film, and you see why, because of what he's about to do to one of the most like promising and uplifting black figures at the time. In 70s America. Was it 70s?
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah.
So Daniel Kaluuya freaking deserved his Oscar. Fucking phenomenal.
This was annoying that they were both nominated for supporting actor.
Yeah, it was both supporting. Oh, God. Yeah, so whatever.
Dude, fuck the Oscars.
Come on, Oscars.
Still going to watch you, but fuck you. So
Chadwick. That was a whole thing. Good Lord.
That shit was
a mess.
Crazy, dude. That shit was fucking crazy.
Dude.
You knew they planned it like that, dude. You knew they fucking planned it.
It's all conspiratorial. So,
anyways.
But, yeah, just Jesse Plemons, another Jesse Plemons movie this year.
Holy fuck, he was in that, dude. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
I'm saying, like,
we watched this movie a long time ago.
Last year was not normal. We had like awards movies in January and February.
No, I think we talked about it in like our catching up podcast, but like movies did not get back to normal till like July.
Yeah. In terms of like normal slate, normal like competition in the theater, what you're getting, whatever. So now we're back to normal because fucking January sucks, but
yeah, spoiler, Scream fucking sucks, guys.
Sorry, Scream was not making this year's list or next year's list or the years after. So
and it's number 5.
And neither is Candyman, so get to us on that as well. But yeah, I think just it was shot beautifully, like such a dark, like sinister, noirish look to the film. Just how they perceived the FBI and just how evil that they truly were, like just taking out such prominent black figures at the time. And it's disheartening because like when you know how the events turn out and how like ruthless they don't hold your hand during like the more tough scenes in the film. And I think that's for the best, because at the end of the day, Fred Hampton is one of those names that will forever be cherished, and this film, portrays that beautifully.
Also, a very, very solid ending.
Yes, the
last 10 minutes, you're just kind of like speechless. You're just like, damn. So,
it's a tough watch at the end of the day, but at the end, like, also just two powerhouse performances that. I mean, Dan Kaluuya is like at the top of his game right now. Like he really can't be stopped, no matter what he's in, even if it is a Black Panther or whatever, and he just phones it in. But at the same time, when he's trying, he's on his A game. He's one of the best actors working, so I'm glad he earned his Oscar for that.
Hell yeah!
But yeah,
and that is it.
That's our top 10.
That is our top 10 of 2021. I would say we're gonna close the books, but top 3 worst movies of the year.
Top 3 worst? Oh, I was not ready for that. So you go ahead first.
All right, I'm just gonna spit them out because these movies fucking suck.
Oh, well, I have one for sure, just off the top of my head.
So this was the year I watched the most movies. I watched 102 movies.
Man, in terms of new movies,
all new movies, 102 movies for 2021.
Hell yeah!
So coming in, I guess third to worst, fucking Raya and the Last Dragon, dude. Raya and the Last Dragon was such a disappointing movie.
Top 3 worst of the year.
Yeah. I'm not giving Disney. I'm not holding them back, dude. That movie sucked.
Yep.
It was not good. Sure, we also had a weird yellow square in the center of our movie that didn't make any sense, which might have affected it just a little bit.
That entire movie experience was just not a good time, honestly.
People were weird as well. There was like an old dude sitting in front of us. He was kind of weird. But like, nah, dude, that movie sucked. It just was like, nah, it just wasn't good, man. So it wasn't good. Then Hold Me Tight from Khan.
Okay.
That movie also sucked.
Oh, no.
But at the same time, the theater we saw it in, I think the AC broke and we were dying. Actually, literally said he passed out for a few minutes, and I felt like I was going to puke at one point.
God.
But the movie also sucked. It was just this girl who's like, you know what? I'm tired of my family, and gets up and leaves. And then she fucking lives her life, and then she comes back to see what her family was doing. To realize that her family died in a avalanche accident, and she's been seeing ghosts the whole time of what she percepted that they were seeing, and it was dumb as fuck. So no thanks. And the worst film of the year, Coming to America.
Oh wow, that was your least favorite of the year.
It was not funny. It was just really awkward, really bland, really bad. Mm-hmm. Coming to America is really funny. Like Eddie Murphy, peak comedy right there. Mm-hmm. This one just doesn't have it. Also, it's misleading as fuck. They're in America for 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, and then they go back to their home in Africa.
Maybe that's the joke.
I wasn't laughing. And
grasping at straws at this point.
Wesley Snipes is playing this weird dictator dude in Africa, and he's just not funny either, and nobody's funny, and it was boring, and
a cash grab for no reason. But it was dumped straight to Amazon Prime.
It was Amazon Prime, yep. Yeah, it was just dumped down there in February, and it was dog shit. So worst movie of the year for me.
God. Well, after quickly breezing through my lowest rated of the year, I guess third worst of the year for me was Fast 9. I want to preface that I have never seen a Fast movie, but for some reason, the marketing sold me because it looked absolutely hilarious. What I wasn't ready for was a 2-hour and 20-minute snooze fest of bullshit.
I could have told you that when I saw Hobbs and Shaw, dude.
Dude, okay, so well, this will make me not want to watch any new Fast movie ever, even if it is ironically, because I wanted to just laugh my ass off watching this, but everything funny that happens in the trailer is the only funny fucking moments pretty much of the film. It doesn't it looks bad, but at the same time,
so it's the typical trailer that just shows you all the good parts.
Yeah,
or all the ironically funny parts.
What's that? The Meg. You would think that's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be so self-aware,
and then it's actually taken seriously as fuck.
It's just a boring, bad shark movie. Great. That's pretty much Fast 9.
God, Eli Roth should have directed that.
It doesn't help that I did not give a fuck about any of, the character reunions in the movie. And
dude, come on, man. You gotta, you're 8 movies behind.
Just
You're jumping into Rise of Skywalker. You think you're gonna appreciate this franchise?
Yeah. No, not at all. But, dude, it was just so boring. And even knowing the other Fast movies, I could see, okay, they're somewhat still trying, from Fast 4 to 7, whatever. That's usually.
I mean, that was kind of the resurgence.
Yeah, that's kind of
like 5 or whatever.
The best, the revival of the series, pretty much. So, but that was definitely not that, and it will make me not want to really jump into the Fast series any faster by watching it.
Kill me first, okay.
But number 2 worst movie of the year for me was Cruella. I love Amanda, and I love Ariel. It was Amanda's choice because it was her birthday, but yeah, I did not have a good time watching that.
I was greatly disappointed.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think I was gonna love it, but I thought I would at least enjoy it.
Because it was Craig Gillespie, you know, he made I, Tonya, he made freaking Lars and the Real Girl. I'm like, okay.
Dude,
this is a real director.
And I fucking love I, Tonya.
It's a real filmmaker, but I like...
And Lars and the Real Girl was really good, too.
Yeah, I fucking love Lars the Real Girl. But...
And Emma Stone's amazing.
Yeah.
Not here.
No. Like...
It's just dumb that Cruella was her persona. And it's like, no. Cruella is Cruella.
Which, like, going back and, like, reading that, like, oh, this is a reimagining because they call all the live-action movies that, even though Lion King is very much just a carbon copy of the original, but whatever. But
it's an animated movie, not live.
But exactly, photorealistic animation. But yeah, Cruella and oh god, the most annoying thing I think was that fucking soundtrack.
Dude, I think I counted it. I think it was 37 songs.
Like,
I think I remember I waited. I was like, no, guys. We're going to wait. I want to count how many fucking songs there were because I'm convinced that half of the dialogue was cut out for all of these fucking music
and
to
it's
show
longer because of it, too, because it's just like pointless montages of just Cruella doing shit at various ages and different stages of her life.
Remember when the girl freaked out for the end credit scene?
Yes. That was the cherry on top for my experience. And
if you know what we're talking about, you know what we're talking about.
I rolled my eyes so hard. I'm like,
the girl started crying.
Like you knew that was gonna happen. Like what? Anyway, whatever. But anyway, yeah. Like I love you, Emma Stone, but I mean, she was fine. Like she wasn't like the worst part, but like
you could tell she was having fun.
Yeah,
like she wanted it.
Cool. Like she's enjoying herself while making a fuck ton of money. So Emma Stone wins at the end of the day.
Who was it?
Emma Thompson?
Emma Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She
was like the best part.
She was the best part, and even like it's not a great Emma Thompson like performance that stands throughout from her other.
Mark Strong was forgettable.
But yeah, like I don't know, just
the reveal at the end and like the CGI Dalmatians and the fucking parachute, dumb as fuck.
Yeah. The ending is fucking ridiculous.
The ending is
stupid.
It's like the ending should have just happened, and then there's like a 25-minute surprise climax. The movie's not over yet. Sit your fucking ass down.
But at that point, it'd been like 2.5 hours long if they kept going. Like it's already long enough as is. But no, yeah, not just what Disney's doing with these live.
Hey, there's a second one coming out.
Oh, there is. I will not be watching it. Fuck that movie. No, Cruella's a bad time. I'm sorry, Disney. You're pissing me off lately.
You're also just ruining directors, so please stop.
Yeah, I've quit giving them projects that they don't really give a fuck about and then ruining their reputation. But anyway.
Sorry, Chloe.
Worst film of the year. I watched this pretty recently. I'm pretty sure I texted you guys right after I watched it. Red Notice. A film that you couldn't even fucking finish.
I got, I think, 25 minutes in, and then I think Henry had fallen asleep or something, and I was like, "Thank God."
Yeah, I gave the option to Nikki to pick the movie that night. My stepbrother. Now, the decisions like this make me not want to ask that question to him.
Well, it also just makes you question humanity.
Yes, like just Nikki, what he watches in general is just like, "Yep, okay, yep, this is your kind of movie." Well, it's not mine, and it's just The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds proving that they have zero chemistry together, that they could barely act at all.
Out of the three, who could act the most?
Just based off of this film.
Mm-hmm. Dead silence. He does not want to pick one of them.
I'm going to go with Ryan Reynolds.
Interesting.
Because I just think he brings a tad more charisma than The Rock and Gal Gadot.
But he's just been playing the same guy since 2002.
I know. But in terms of just like inflections with his delivery, no one gave a fuck in this movie. Let's just put that out there.
But there's going to be two more.
Yeah, and they're going to be just as half-assed.
And you're going to see them.
No more Red Notice movies for me. Fuck you, Netflix.
Hey, they had a good joke, okay?
Who made fucking
They had
Red
a good
Notice?
joke in the 20 minutes that I watched it.
Oh, they did. That was the one good thing.
Dude, it was like pretty funny, honestly. It's when Beastie Boys pops on and then they hit.
Oh yeah, Ross and Marshall Thurber, the guy that brought us We're the Millers, Dodgeball, Central Intelligence, and Skyscraper.
Hey man, Dodgeball. That's a
Rules,
classic.
but that was 2004. That's a minute ago.
Yeah,
so
this man's a hack.
Modern
now.
Rawson, no. Like Skyscraper was one of the worst movies I saw that year, and now Red Notice fucking blows. Like, no.
We're the Millers is kind of funny.
We're the Millers is a good time, but no, that everything about that movie just infuriated me. it was just half-assed. Like, that's all it came down to. Like, the writing was half-assed. It was like the first heist movie I think I remember watching where I just did not give a fuck about anything about the heist itself. Nothing made me care or grasp.
Yeah, I mean, I could get that vibe. I stopped, if people are wondering, I stopped right when Gal was introduced.
Was introduced?
Yes,
okay.
That's when I stopped the movie. So
it just gets dumber from there.
I mean,
count on my
that
word.
Whole conversation in the cafeteria of the jail was pretty dumb.
It was forced. Everything's forced. Everything.
It's just them trying to be witty.
Yeah.
It's like them trying to do a sitcom, but they aren't fucking comedians.
It's just like, oh, would be a modern big A-list heist movie.
Let's make The Sting, but modern.
Yeah.
Oh, fact check. I'm not Paul Newman or Robert Redford, so I'm not going to make a good heist movie.
No, we're The Rock, Gal Gadot, and fucking Ryan Reynolds. Like, the worst trio. Gal Gadot's cool, but, like, The Rock has overstayed his welcome, and Ryan Reynolds has overstayed his welcome.
At least Ryan said he's taking a hiatus, so.
We'll see how long that lasts. But, hey, I mean, go out on top while you're...
Is Blake pregnant or something? Is she pregnant?
Blake? I don't know.
Do they have a kid? I don't know.
I don't think they do. But hey, they're about to make some. They're going to be gorgeous. So yeah, that was my worst movie of the year. Red Notice, fuck you. You're a bad time.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All
so
right.
and we kicked the year off with Scream, and I don't know what America's thinking, but that movie's not good.
No, the real votes are in, and they're 2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
We're the real Siskel and Ebert. Listen to us.
I was thinking like when we were watching the movie, maybe we'll do a review, and then by the end of it, I was like, I don't want to talk about this because this isn't good. Like,
and we had just watched Scream 4, so it was just
was like surprisingly good.
Yeah.
So
no, fuck Scream.
No, let's just prove that Wes Craven can only make Scream movies. So don't make another one, even though you're gonna, because this one made money. So.
Yep.
It dethroned Spider-Man.
One-way ticket to Sequelville, even though it's already a sequel. But I mean, is it? I don't know. Soft reboot.
Yeah.
When in doubt.
Soft reboot. I hope they call it Scream 2.
I hope so. Now, I would give it credit if it goes Scream 2.
Be like, you guys are going that route, and I love it. Or they'll do dumb, and they'll be like Scream, like The Return. Something dumb like that. Because, like, it's Halloween, and then Halloween Kills. Instead of just doing Halloween 2, like, just have a stupid word, like...
Or they could go the Roman numeral route, like the other Halloween films by Rob Zombie.
Whatever.
There's 3 movies called Halloween, and all of them have the same main character. Why? Now we have to fucking differentiate with freaking years?
No. There's only one Halloween.
Yep.
And it's fucking John fucking Carpenter's. Also, the main girl's name is like Carpenter in this movie or whatever, so I'm like a little nod, I guess.
Okay.
So.
That's cool.
Because I think in the first movie, one of the killers, Billy Loomis. Yeah, Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
So it's just like another nod, I guess, to another horror icon. So.
Hey, Halloween rules at the end of the day. It's a staple for every Halloween.
Facts. Anything else?
Yeah.
Hopefully look
Weird
out
year.
for, honestly, dude, like, I don't even know what the next movie's going to be.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, even February, I'm like, we got
like,
Jackass.
We're seeing Jackass. I'm fucking hate watching the fuck out of Uncharted.
Oh, Uncharted.
We might do a review for Uncharted just so I can just say fuck every other word.
Everything, yep.
But besides that, like, I'm like, dude, like, it's
We are waiting for the Batman.
pretty much. But yeah, anything else? No, nothing.
No. Weird
Cool.
year for movies. I mean, again. So
Weird. I think this will be the first year where it's not weird.
Yeah.
So-
Well, let's fucking hope so.
As we
Let's get
saw
back on
a
track.
very bad January movie.
Yeah. Hey,
So.
but that's back to normal though. January movies suck. So
Yep.
there you go.
There you go. Well, guys, this has been Andrew.
It's been Connor.
Peace.
It's been good.